well, I have a whole 6-pack of donuts here while you were way better at that than I was.
Oh,
I've never seen a room of people who eat food for a living turn down so many donuts. What is going on?
2 years in a row, Rev.
Only Rev can get me to wear this shirt. I'm just saying. This is love and commitment. Okay, so I'm going to be introducing the Summit Advisors Panel, the future of digital transformation for the fast casual and QSR industry. We have the wonderful Julie Wade, the Senior Director of Marketing for Taziki's. Yeah. We have Sam Stanovich, SVP of Franchise for Big Chicken. All right, we're getting there. And we have Rev, co-founder and CMO of Handcraft Burgers and Brews. The opening session of the summit is the advisors panel. We're leading the way of an insightful discussion on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of the restaurant technology. Join us as we delve into the crucial topics such as challenges posed by rising technology expenses, strategic shifts in omnichannel approaches, and personalized guest experiences. Rev?
Thank you. I love your shirt. Everybody ready? Are we excited? Come on. Let's put the energy in here. We got 2 days. We're going to learn. We're going to network. We're going to find out a whole bunch of stuff. We want this whole show to be interactive, too, so if you have questions, please don't sit on them, right? Ask us. Otherwise, we control the conversation. We're here for you. Cool? Man, this is the hardest crowd I've worked.
Seriously.
Don't even reply to me. Don't want donuts. Okay, I'm going to give you a little insight into Rev here before we get going. Who here has ever seen Ozzy Osbourne live? Who here has ever seen Ozzy? You're telling me less than 10 people have seen Ozzy Osbourne live. What world am I in? Okay, I grew up going to heavy metal shows, and I've seen Ozzy probably 3 dozen times. In fact, I even met with Ozzy once. Okay, that's a different story. If Ozzy was not feeling the energy of the crowd, he would walk up to the edge of the stage, and he'd be like, I can't hear you. Okay? And if Ozzy was not happy, he would say, I can't fucking hear you. So if you don't want me to do that, reply to us, and I won't Ozzy Osbourne you, okay? All right, God bless. Thank you. Okay, we do have a bunch of questions here, so I'm just going to roll through them, but we want to turn this into a discussion. So again, if anybody wants to chime in here, just put your hand up, and I'm not going to run with you the mic, so you have to yell Ozzy loud style. Cool?
Cool.
How do you prioritize tech investments as part of your overall budget?
So you're looking at me, so I got to go first?
Well, Sam can, I don't know.
I mean, ladies first.
All righty, that's fine. Oh, tech is a huge part of everything that we do now. I mean, you walk next door and you see all those vendors over there, and it's so many of them are tech focused. That's what we're here for. It's all digital now. So you really do have to prioritize that, and it's where our customers are. So everything that we do has to be focused around that. So as you move forward with your budgeting, I mean, you can't say it's like a certain percent because it just has to be such at the forefront of it. And it's everything that we do when we look at what the next initiative is, we're always looking at the ROI on it. So everything that we're approached with, it's got to be an investment that is going to pay back in a certain amount of time. So it's always what we're going to be able to get out of it. So it's less about the overall percentage of the actual budget that we have, but more about what can we get back on the back end from it.
And tech touches so many departments, and lots of pieces of tech touch multiple departments, so it also makes it hard to say, oh, that's in your budget, that's in my budget.
Yeah, that's what, I'm in marketing, but then our director of technology, like he and I have to consult on pretty much everything that we're doing, because not only if it's a marketing spend, well, it's got to make the integrations with the tech team, so I have to bring him into everything that we're doing, and then a lot of the tech initiatives that he's working on, they also have a marketing component to them as well. So we're back and forth all the time on things, and we do split a lot of the cost. So it's and sometimes it's a burden to our franchisees. Sometimes it's a burden to my marketing budget. Sometimes it's a burden to us as a franchisor. So sometimes it gets split 3 ways. We just have to kind of navigate each one individually and just see where that spend is actually going to land on the P&L.
You know, Rev, there's just so many things to unpack there, right? Because at the end of the day, we could spend weeks, if not months, if not quarters, evaluating new technology and integrations and how does it work with what's going on and what is all that time and investment. At the end of the day, we have to go back to the basics. What do we do for a living? We run restaurants, and we need to find and integrate the tech that is going to enable us to sell the most amount of product in an efficient way of how our customers want that through their journey. Are there a lot of ancillary pieces? Yes. But you really need to sort through that because all of a sudden your budgets and dollars can get out of control because as we're pitched, oh, it's only $50 a month. Oh, it's only $20 a month. Well, the next thing you know, you got $10,000 a month coming in, and how does it all work, and what's working, and what's not working, and what doesn't get integrated, and what does get integrated. So you have to start with the journey and then create your roadmap. So you really need to, nowadays, take a step back. Sometimes it's really good to get an outside third-party perspective who doesn't have a dog in the fight, who can come and look at that journey and that experience and then start to map out where you want to go and how you want to do it. And then what are the pain points that you're trying to solve for? Because if you're not solving for a pain point and you're not growing revenue, then why are we doing it?
So we're an independent, so we don't have budgets for anything. There's no budget. It's just like, should we do that? Yeah. So we use a 5-step process in evaluating tech that I found works for all businesses of all levels. Okay, you have to answer 5 questions. And the first one is, does it make or save me time? Does it make or save me money? Does it work with my non-negotiables? So in a world of like siloed data, we need integrations, right? Does it make the guest experience better? And does it make my team's experience better? And then you buy it based on what your score is.
So Rev,
So if you hit 5 out of 5, you should get that tech right then.
so Rev, one more time for the crowd so they can take notes because now they're just going, oh shit, I just got the nugget of the
Oh
day.
yeah, I'm the framework guy. I give
right.
you all the how-tos.
Do it.
Okay, so the 5 questions you ask are, does it make or save me time? Does it make or save me money? Does it work with my non-negotiables? Does it make the guest experience better? And does it make my team experience better? And then at that point, the budget kind of doesn't matter because it's helping the business.
Yeah, it brings that ROI.
All right, we knocked out question 1. Great job.
All right, follow-up question. What's one piece of tech you really, really like?
I have many, but
All right, I'm going to ask that a different way. What's a piece of tech that you really like that you wish you would have started using sooner?
I have 2. One, which is in this room today, is Ovation. We really like that, and we brought it on about a year ago. Started with it in our corporate markets, and we're bringing on franchisees now. And it's such a great way to get that immediate feedback from the guest, and from a guest perspective, experience perspective, to know what is happening in the restaurants, and then from an operational perspective, they can make those changes, make adjustments immediately. We've had so many instances where our operators have been able, just that day, that shift, been able to adjust things and really make the changes that are needed to stop, start, whatever, to affect that shift and ongoing shift. So really wish we had done that. And then my second one is Brews email marketing. That has been really a game changer for us in all the things that it has, the journeys that you can do, the reporting there. It's got a heat map function, so you can see where your guests are clicking inside of your emails to see what's the most impactful, and then that way we take that data on a monthly basis and then can adjust our campaigns moving forward to see, if it's pictures of people, if it's pictures of food, if it's, whatever it is on there, if there's a certain social link that they're clicking on, and then we build the other emails as we go along based on that. So those are 2 for me.
Love it. I wish I could say that we started with Ovation earlier, but we opened the doors with Ovation. So everybody know what Ovation is? Guest feedback tool, SMS-based. It's awesome.
Piece that I really like is Marquee. We rolled out Marquee. We were having issues with our website, some mapping on technology. We're a very small team. Didn't have a marketing expert at that point in time. And what we found was the number of places in which your menu hours of operation, just basic listing data exists, is much more than the big 4. There's probably 90 plus marquee catalogs, all of them. And what we found in the first 3 weeks is hundreds of conflicts that Marquee was able to sort out, tell us, and then we could get the resolution so we could get higher SEO optimization in rankings. And that was vital because what many in the room who aren't marketers don't know is that Google every quarter likes to reset the algorithms to create a level playing field because the thought at Google is whether you're big or small, everybody should have the same opportunity outside of the paid ad subscriptions to rise to the top of SEO. Well, none of us have the time to read the hundreds of pages every quarter that Google drops, but Marquee's figured it out, and then it allows us to sync that, make the changes, and optimize. And then the results were 9 months later, we could see where we were positioned and the growth organically versus paid. So we made that investment and got the turnaround. That was one of the tools that most impressed me with rolling it out.
Awesome. I would also like to say that I wish we started using Marquee earlier, but the story goes like this. So I signed my contract to be the co-founder and CMO of Handcraft Burgers and Brew. I literally did the DocuSign. The very next minute, I went and got our Instagram screen name, and the very next minute, I emailed Rutko and Avi from Marquee and said we need to set up an account. So like, that was actually the first thing I did. So.
Well, for most of the tech that we have found, for those of you who don't know Josh Halpern and I, we're like Batman and Batman, and we go to every conference known to man. But the conferences and being here gives us that opportunity to visit and learn and do the demos and figure out what's going on in real time. So for us, not only presenting at conferences and giving back, but also learning is one of those reasons that we're here. And if it wasn't for Justin at Ovation, we wouldn't have been an Ovation customer because he tracked us down and he didn't give us the pitch. He gave us a solution to a problem that we were having, and like I said in my opening, that's what I was looking for, and that's one of your 5 points.
Mm-hmm. And Marquee and Ovation have an integration.
Yeah, there you go. See, non-negotiable.
Works together.
So since we're talking about guest feedback tools, Sam, I would like to give you some guest feedback. I think it's interesting that you referred to you and Josh as Batman and Batman. I think you're a little bit more like Joker and Penguin. You two figure out who's who. Okay, moving on. What emerging technologies or trends do you believe will be most impactful in enhancing guest acquisition and retention?
Guest acquisition and retention. I don't know. AI is all the buzzword, and I think in retention, it's probably the AI will be able to really help that through like the Brews emails that I was talking about, being able to really use the AI to figure out the journeys, and Brews is doing a lot with that and looking at the traffic patterns of the customers. And one of the things, like right now, or previously with our email provider, we had a lapsed guest program, and everybody was on the same number of days. Like if you had not visited with us in 90 days, you were considered a lapsed guest. Well, it didn't matter if you visited every day, every week, every month, you still got the same lapsed guest email at 90 days. Well, with the features in Brews and their AI, that is totally changed, and it can read how the guest is, what their patterns are. Of course, you have to have a CDP and be able to know what their traffic patterns are. But then it says, okay, if they're coming in every week and they miss a week, well, all of a sudden now they're a lapsed guest. So using the AI technology that way, you can go back, and before they've actually missed, by the time they haven't been in 90 days, you've completely lost that customer. So I think through technology like that, you're going to be able to really retain those guests a lot better and catch them a lot quicker and a lot sooner.
So how am I going to retain a guest? I'm going to retain the guest by providing excellent food and service, right? So we talk about all these tools, marketing, campaigns, drive people in the door. If our teams don't execute at a high level and we're not serving a high quality product, we're going to lose every time, because how much money am I going to spend to get first time guests versus retaining guests? So the technology that we've pivoted to is using the Opus platform in training And how do we maximize our teams and use the technology to train them in the trenches, quick, easy snippets, and how are they being trained? Where do they want to learn? Like our staffs who are coming in that are now 14 and a half, 15, 16-year-olds aren't gonna sit at a desk and a laptop with a set of wired headphones on. That's not gonna exist. But they do have a device in their hand, and they wanna watch clips, and they wanna watch TikTok, so why wouldn't we use a training platform that integrates both and get younger people on our team to create training for them? Because at the end of the day, if I invest all this money to get a first-time customer and I can't succeed at getting a repeat customer, then I've failed completely. So now what technologies am I using to integrate those two pieces? And that's why we had selected Opus to use that, because now we can create videos as fast as you can on TikTok and get them into their hands and deploy them and put messages out, and we can do it every morning, afternoon, and evening.
Did you just give me a TikTok challenge? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody here work at a fast food joint in the 80s or 90s? Anybody remember the VHSs and the sitting in the room? I did. I worked at McDonald's and KFC, so I definitely remember that.
And binders? Who remembers binders?
Who's still using binders? Watch no hands go. All right, God bless. Thank you for being honest. You both stole my answer. The answer that I was going to give and what I think is happening in terms of acquisition and retention in terms of trends is I think you're going to see more use of CDP, right? CDP and CRM, those are words that this business really hasn't used a whole lot. We've had like loyalty and rewards and app users or e-club, but we haven't really gotten to the like analysis with starting. And the other answer was getting your team involved in the marketing. Right? And it's not just like making sure that your people that are at the registers are saying, hey, have you joined our rewards club? It's making sure that they understand why that's important and the impact it has on the business.
Yeah, we have a system very similar to what Sam was talking about. And from the marketing department, we send out videos to them that specifically speak to the cashiers. And we send out one sheets that show up on their phones in this platform, once a week, that talk about the different LTOs and things that are going on. So there's a lot of information there and a lot more communication. It's a pretty new platform for us. It's not Opus, but it's something very similar. And we really haven't had that type of, it's not interaction because it's just a one-way channel right now, but it's a lot more information to the front line than what we've been able to have before. So it's been great for us.
Now, Rev, remember at Food on Demand, I was on stage with Greg Majewski, and we were talking about CRMs?
The loyalty, anti-loyalty panel?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was loyalty or anti-loyalty, but he brought up a really good point, right? People focus on the buzzword of loyalty and getting all these people in this loyalty platform, which gives you, I forget which stat he used, was it 20%? Greg, what did you say, 20%? And you're missing marketing to the 80%. And all of a sudden it dawned on us, why aren't we marketing to everybody? We're spending all this extra money to get to 20% of our customer. How do we get more of our customer into that? But we also have to, we forget that we need to broadline market to everybody and not just that 20%.
Yeah, you need to market to every single person in your CRM.
Correct. And that's the biggest thing. Like, how do you build the biggest CRM? How do you get the most amount of people to funnel in there? People forget the olden days. Again, we talk about binders, VHS. I mean, how many people in the room remember fish bowls? Right? Believe it or not, fish bowls for catering still work amazingly today, because if you have a great offer at the counter and you give people either a QR code to register, and you can do it with a Google Sheet and you can do it very cheap, or you have where they drop their business cards, or you have slips in which they can fill their name and email and drop it in, you can quickly continue to build that CRM. And I think people are forgetting what's old is new again, right? These tactics worked, right? Josh and I always debate the punch card, right? What is the effectiveness of dropping a punch card? Because yes, are my kids or that 13-year-old going to take a punch card and remember? Are they going to get a digital punch card, right, which is in the loyalty program? But what about the Gen X consumer, which is now becoming, the big mass? They've got the expendable income, right? Or the boomer, right? What do they want? Are you marketing to just on the tech side to get a certain percentage of the customer? Or are you using what's in the four walls But then how are you integrating your four walls marketing campaign to the technology that you're buying? So the question with your email campaign is, how are you going to get more people to join your email list so you have a bigger subscription so you can touch more people? And then analyze what they're looking at. Are they looking at just the pictures? Like if I clicked on it, I probably wouldn't read it. I would look for the cool picture, be like, ooh, cool picture, click, because I'm like a squirrel, right? So you have this data, which would actually be kind of fascinating to see. But how are we now integrating those two pieces? Because remember, we have thousands of customers that walk in our restaurants every day. So now how are we engaging them?
Do you want the actual answer?
Yes, please.
Gated Wi-Fi. Anybody gating Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi for users? Okay, you can all go home right now. I just gave you the secret unlock to retention, okay? Gated Wi-Fi. We do gated Wi-Fi at the burger shop. I paid $19 a month for it, which to me is freaking peanuts. If I get 2 email addresses a month, I'd be happy. The truth is we get 100 a week. People spend 18 minutes in my joint eating a smash burger and fresh cut fries. I've built 34% of our CRM off of gated Wi-Fi at $19 a month.
And then so explain to the audience, how does your gated Wi-Fi work?
Hey, do you guys have free Wi-Fi? Yeah, just go on it. And then it pops up, and you put in your email address, and you're done.
Now, are you telling them at the register? Are you prompting them with the ugly, we have free Wi-Fi that somebody puts in the bottom right-hand corner of the door as they walk in?
Honest to God, my team could do a better job of telling people we have free Wi-Fi, and we still get 100 signups a week. People just want free Wi-Fi. I mean, we are built to walk into a room. Who's on the Wi-Fi here? Come on.
Trying to get on it.
Okay, is my point proven? Okay. And again, I'm happy to give the answers, but at the burger shop, we have 9 ways of collecting your email. Okay. I have more ways of getting your email than getting you to order French fries.
All right, so give me the top. Tell me the top 3 ways that you get emails.
Top 3?
Top 3. Well, unless you want to give all 9, I'm not going to ask you for all your secrets. Well, I may, but that would be on LinkedIn.
I put them on my blog every week. So
okay, well, again, we know the audience. We know how much we really read. We're here. We're engaged. We're taking notes. Come on, give me the 9.
So online ordering for sure is number 1. Somebody places an order, we get their email. To me, that's an opt-in. Amen. Okay. Right. Number 2 is gated Wi-Fi. Okay. And then number 3 is we have a smart kiosk. So we have 99% digital transactions at the burger shop, and we have 99% of our guests in our database.
What is the spread on your kiosk? Because I'm just curious, because we just rolled out kiosks, and I can tell you the data in our limited run. What's the spread between cashier to online order to kiosk?
So I'm almost unqualified to answer this question because we have no cash registers, which is totally like the business model most of these people don't have. Does anybody have no cash registers? It's awesome, right? It's like the greatest thing ever. We opened our doors like that because I was, I'm a kid from the 70s and the 80s. I stood in line at KFC to get my chicken. Like I know what that's like, and I'm now an adult of this time. Nobody wants to stand in line behind this person. You guys used to have I ain't got time for that. I have nobody has time for that. So we're just gonna eliminate it. And because we've eliminated cash registers, we've eliminated lines. And at our absolute busiest moment, so like Thursday from noon to 2 p.m. when we are absolutely slammed, the entire burger shop operates on 4 people.
That's awesome labor.
I got 2 people in the kitchen. I got 1 person greeting people at the door and a manager. That's it.
Julie, have you done kiosk yet?
No, we have not.
So we've just deployed kiosk. Our average check at the register was roughly $13.50. Our online order was about $22. We're averaging $33 at the kiosk.
Oh yeah, I didn't answer your question.
Really?
Sorry.
Yeah. Shocking. Wow. I know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's early. So don't quote me and go publish that over QSR. You're all under NDA now. And we do have very expensive lawyers. But that's the data, because I had to report it yesterday to our board. But that's the data we're seeing. And we're seeing really great results because, again, we're not taking away from the consumer who wants the cashier experience, right? We're giving the consumer the experience that they're choosing to have. And I did a lot of research prior to this, going and sitting and watching McDonald's. and watching the McDonald's, because McDonald's is basically abandoned cashiers, except for those who walk in over the age of 70 who can't figure out the kiosk. But when you look at and you start to play and you start to think about how do you position those things, it is very easy to get the add-on, because the consumer at that moment of purchase on their device is more willing to give the add-on. And unfortunately, our cashiers nowadays are scared to talk to people for some reason. Like, obviously,
I'm actually just scared to have my team talk to people in general.
yeah. I would take.
So you've just eliminated that completely.
When we can find and train a right cashier who's engaged and motivated to sell, they'll outsell the kiosk all day. The problem is I can't figure out how to replicate that in enough mass quantity anymore. Like, unfortunately, the cards that we're dealt with, people are scared to talk to people. And it's unfortunate, because I think the best thing in the world, and you learn so much from people, is at that moment of truth when you're at the cash register, right?
Oh, I just don't have the patience. Like, anybody use the Dunkin' Donuts app? That is the best app out there. I will be walking up to the Dunkin' Donuts and go, oh, I forgot to place my order. And I'll be standing in front of the door, and I'll open up the app and place my order so that I can walk in and I don't have to talk to anybody, even when I'm standing 5 feet away.
But I also think that's where you are in the country, too. Like, in New York, it's a whole different area of people and attitude than Chicago or San Diego or Alabama, right? You get to, like, I was just in the Panhandle with my franchisee down there, and the consumer walking in is just chitty-chatty at the cash register. Like, they're just happy to be in and spending their money. And I think that's something that we all should need to think about is, yes, we can have amazing technology, and we need to be able to serve the consumer where they want to be served. But there is an opportunity for brands who can develop that culture, like Chick-fil-A, like many of others, who at that moment of truth, when they're at that register, do something special, especially as the dollars begin to shrink and people are looking at that value. I mean, we're starting to read the data, the resurgence of casual dine, because casual dine is about the same price to go to some fast casuals now. So people are going to casual dine, and what are they getting? They're now getting an experience again, right? And those casual dines that provide that experience and create service, because at the end of the day, people, let's remember, we're in the hospitality industry, not the hostility industry. And we always need to have that at our core.
Somebody needs to tell that to our bartender from last night.
Oh, my God.
Oh, gosh, yes.
When we were walking out of there, he walked up to me. He's like, are you guys going to Miller's Ale House? And I was like, yeah. He goes, I'll see you over there. And secretly inside my head, I said, I hope you do not come join us.
And it was like the last night, for those of you who didn't attend the food crawl, it was like polar opposite. We had a server who had been at the restaurant since the day opened and was engaged and talking to us and wanted to chat. Matter of fact, she wanted to be in the picture.
Yeah, she wanted to be in the video.
Yeah, she wanted to be in the video. She was trying to take the video, but she was older and she couldn't figure out how to work the iPhone. So Brian from Marquee, thank you, because you say it came to the rescue, because we would have got no content. But yet you've got 25 people who are all friendly, laughing, joking, who come sit at your bar. And it was the worst experience in the world. The guy could have made bank last night.
He acted like he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, like the amount of money that would have poured into his pocket last night.
I looked at him and I go, what tap? What's in that tap? And he goes, beer. I was like, okay, I'm also a smart ass. I'll engage you. I go, what type of beer? And then he gave me the name of the beer, and I was like, okay, I still don't know what type of beer it is. And he goes, oh, it's gummy. And I was like, just pour it in my fucking glass. Like,
and thus, if there was a QR code or a kiosk, we would have all ordered
or a beer
that.
wall.
Yeah, something.
Thank you, guys. Was that we brought it way up? Did we bring it home? Like we're good there? Awesome. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.